What's up, guys? Let's make a designer cake. First, I started by looking up an image of a silhouette of a dude with his arm up, and this is the one that I found, and I just added a couple of details to his shirt. You'll see why later. I cut it out with my cake scissors, and then I rolled out some white gum paste. I laid the image on top, and it's on top of my cutting mat, and this is just so that I don't cut into my silicone Fat Daddy-O's mat. And you see here, I've already cut out this exact shape. I insert a floral wire into my edible glue, and then I add it into his leg, and this is so that it can stand up straight on the cake. The back of this silhouette cake topper, I wanted it to be black, so I did roll out some black fondant, and I just laid it on top and traced around. And then right now I'm painting poppy paints on the side of this white silhouette, and this is just so that all you see is black. You don't see too much white. My client only wanted the shirt and the shoes to be white, so that's why I started with white. I'm tracing some black fondant again, and I'm adding my edible glue to the white except for the shirt part, and this is because I'm going to cut that away and I didn't want it to stick and leave any black residue. I'm using a Dresden tool just to make some of the details of his jacket and his shirt underneath. I'm using a combination of that Dresden tool, a paintbrush, and the pen blade there just to make some of those details. And then for his white shoes, I just add my edible glue and a little bit of white fondant on top. And then I just kind of work it around with my fingers to make the shoe shape. I did end up painting a little logo on that shoe as well. You'll see me add some of the buttons there on his shirt and then set that aside so it can dry. I'm making some Louis Vuitton logos here out of a mold. I just add some gum paste in there, and then I'm cutting the excess gum paste away so it looks nice and clean. Set those aside to dry as well. And right now I'm going to work on some shopping bags. So I roll out some white gum paste, and I'm just working it with 2 fondant smoothers to try to get them square. I cut that in half so that I have 2 of the same size. And then I roll out some white gum paste into a rectangular shape, and I glue it on with my edible glue. And then you can see there I kind of crimp the sides to make it look like a shopping bag. I have a small straw that I use for cake decorating, and I just poked some holes there. I rolled out some black fondant and I made little handles for the bags, just attached it with my edible glue. I have some wafer paper here. I sprayed it with a little bit of paper potion from Icing Images, and then I glued it inside of that shopping bag, and this just makes it look like tissue paper sticking up. And then I printed some logos on my edible printer with some edible paper. And this is before the whole Balenciaga scandal went down, by the way. They may not have chosen that designer if we knew about it back then. I add a really cool fondant border to this cake. I thought it looked really classy and masculine. I hand cut 2 really big logos, a Louis Vuitton and a Hermes. I glued it with my edible glue to my cold buttercream cake. After that, I steamed my cake board, and this is so that I can attach all of those letters to the cake board quicker than if I glued each individual one. After I was done adding the happy birthday, I glued on the Louis Vuitton logos in the beginning and at the end of the happy birthday message. I really love how clean this looks when you use tappit cutters instead of writing with like buttercream. I steam my topper and I add the little shopping bags, and then this is what the cake looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial.